time you look horrible. Hello fellow Marcians and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Nicole Marcina, aka Mama Marcian. I am a romance writer and my debut novel will be released on February 2021. In today's video, it is another episode of When a Panster series. But with a twist. I am participating in July 2020's Wordstock, and since this is my first Wordstock video, I am both excited and nervous. If you're not familiar with what Wordstock is an Authortube seminar series where writers get together and share our knowledge in certain writing topics, and at the same time, we discover new writers and follow and support one another. Everyone who will be participating in this month's Wordstock series will be linked down in the description, so be sure to check them out. Robert, if my description of Wordstock is correct, please let me know. Thank you. For today's Wordstock episode and When a Panster episode, we will be talking about story structure. A quick disclaimer, I am not an expert on this topic and I will never claim to be. What I will be doing is to share what I know and what I do when I structure my stories. But before we proceed into today's video, if you're excited for this month's Wordstock episode and you want more writerly content such as this, do consider subscribing to the channel and hit the cute bell beside to notify each time I post a video. I'm gonna close the window. Perhaps that'll help. I didn't want to close the window because it's hot here. The fan's closed. With that said, let us proceed into today's video. Familiar with what story structure is, it is basically the skeleton of your story. Your story needs to have something strong to hold everything together. Every story follows a certain structure and all the elements are the same, which are the opening, where everything is established, including the main conflict of the story. The inciting incident is what forces the protagonist to act. Hurdles. I call it hurdles, but basically it's crisis. Because the main protagonist cannot simply solve the main problem of the story that quickly and that easy. Climax, where it seems like the protagonist has lost, but not really. This must not be mistaken with the resolution. And number 5, the ending or the resolution, which is the conclusion of the story. I would like to say that there are many different kinds of story structure. However, for this video, I will be giving 3 of them, which are the hero's journey, the snowflake method, and the 3-act structure. This kind of story structure can be seen mostly on sci-fi, fantasy, and I believe horror genre. In this story structure, the protagonist usually lives a simple life, but in one blink of an eye, everything changes and he or she is suddenly thrusted into an adventure. In this adventure, they will face numerous challenges and probably face their greatest fear. Then, at the very end, their normal life is never the same for them. I've heard of this method before, and what really caught my attention was its name. I've never seen snow, but I love the thought of snow, and one day I would like to have a snowflake on my hand. Just saying. In this method, the story structure is basically like a snowflake. You start with something small, a short sentence, and then branch it out into paragraphs and or summaries. Once you do that, you just made a structure that technically looks like a snowflake. That is not true. I just thought it's a, good way to describe it. Of course, this wouldn't be a video about story structure if we don't include the 3-act structure. This method is very common and is often used in movies. The parts are Act 1, the setup. This is where you introduce everything in the story, including the problem. Like any story, the problem should force the main protagonist to leave his comfort zone in order to solve the problem. Act 2, the confrontation. This is where we make everything worse for the protagonist. The more they want to solve the problem, the closer they get to what they want, it should get harder for the protagonist. And Act 3, the resolution. This is where the climax and the ending of the story goes. Now you might be wondering,
among the 3 kinds of story structure that you provided, what do you use?
the answer is none of them. Like I said, not everybody follows the same technique in creating a structure. After trying different methods, I found one that works for me, and it's kind of the same with the 3-act structure. However, my story has 4 acts, not 3. Here's how I structure my stories. Act 1. Like any story, this is where I introduce the characters, what is the problem, and the setting. Act 2. I call this the middle, where I expand on the problem and make everything harder for the protagonist. Act 3. This is where I try to give the protagonist a break from every single kind of torture I've given them, but right after the happy times, I instantly bring them back to the black room of darkness. And Act 4. This is where everything is resolved and everybody gets a happy ending. Yes, I am someone who loves happy endings, unless my story doesn't want one. But that's all for today, folks. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed it, do give this video a big thumbs up and let your thoughts be heard in the comment section below. Stories are like humans. We need our skeletons to hold everything together. Stories need to have the structure to make sure everything sticks and are in order. Follow my trail on social media. Everything is listed down below, so check them out. I also have a Patreon page where you can directly help the channel with its content, and in return, I have exclusive Friday goodies awaiting. If you missed my previous upload, which is the replay of my latest Wednesday Write-In with Writers, I will link it in the description or up in the cards so you can go ahead and check it out. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. Stay safe, stay creative, and happy writing, my Marcians. I am participating in July 2020's Wordstock. What? Everyone who will... What? I will link it down in the description or... What? Again. Oh gosh. Words. Everyone who will be...